Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 502 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am joined today in pretend low Earth orbit by two of the greatest geeks you're ever going to meet. I have Chris DeBona.
Hi, everybody.
And Rob Roseboom.
Good morning.
Everybody safe and healthy?
Yeah, I'm by the water. So, yeah, but I've been offering my house to a bunch of friends who are getting evac'd, so it's been something here in low Earth orbit, California.
Right.
There's a lot of smoke. So, and like outside is like this really weird orange color all day long. It's super freaky.
Creepy haze.
Yeah, it's no bueno. So.
How about you, Rob?
I mean, yeah, it's not much different here. 30 miles from your house?
I don't know. I think of you as living in the promised land. Like, I have good internet, but you're real America.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're all going to be watching the RNC committee this week. That's your big thing.
I mean, that's what we do here.
Let's just watch Don Jr. and his friend.
Yeah.
It's important that we keep America great.
Oh, right. Grape, mape.
Oh, well, there is a huge controversy here in Grass Lake because one of the restaurants downtown, one of the two, does not require the employees to wear masks all the time.
Ooh.
So the state has come in and Big Brother's taking away our freedoms, and
don't you
the
make
town is
Big Sister Whitmer?
The town is divided,
and
yada yada yada. So
is it really divided, or is it just like people bitching on Facebook?
Well, I mean, if you're asking me if people have taken to streets because some people don't want to eat at Missy's Grass Shack, the answer is no.
Grass Shack.
But if you're asking me if people through all sorts of social media have been arguing about it, the answer is yes.
We get a lot of that in our local thing. I really enjoy our local Facebook because I don't really read it, but Kat gives me the updates, and the updates are things like, "We found a cow on Mast Road. If this is your cow, come get it."
If this is your cow, come get it.
Yes, dude. Anyone who hasn't joined their local city or town's Facebook page, I encourage you to do it. It is absolute gold. If you're ever bored during the day, the stuff people are ranting about on there is fantastic. So,
well, let's see.
Hey guys,
there is so much DC news.
I totally screwed up. I have to leave in 12 minutes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
I'm a bad friend.
All right, man.
There's so much DC news.
Well, I mean, this can just be a super short episode, and that's fine.
No, you guys can keep talking.
What do we have to say? We see each other on the boat every night and talk about our feelings.
Oh, man. I wanted to talk about all these Batman things.
Okay,
well, let's start that. We got 12 minutes. Let's go through them.
So,
okay, I'm sorry.
It's the DC Con or whatever they're doing, and so basically anything that's in the DC world that has production, that is in any stage of production, no matter how early, let's say Black Adam, they had like a teaser trailer. The Black Adam teaser was the worst by far because it's basically just like concept art with The Rock painted over.
It reminded me of. Do you remember when they would do motion comics online?
Totally.
And it was basically that with like The Rock doing his voiceover, and I was like, dude, this comic deserves better than this.
Yeah. At least they got The Rock to do the voiceover, right?
Yeah.
So there was that, but yeah. No footage, just concept art.
The Batman trailer looked good.
It looks fantastic. I'm really looking forward to this. It's it looks like it's a earlier Batman the way they're describing it, and I think Twilight guy Pattinson he's a great actor. He's gonna do great at this. This is gonna be fantastic. So
I actually heard my first review of Tenet this weekend, which I think he is in, and apparently he's very good. Apparently he is very good.
He's a very good actor. I mean, he's just
he rose to fame in a pretty shitty series. That's the problem.
Well, say what you will, he made a fortune in that damn.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure he's not sad about it.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you do half a dozen of these movies, and then you never have to work again, and you can just do whatever you want. That seems pretty sweet.
And he keeps making good movies,
that
even
Lighthouse
though he's
thing
got
that he
enough.
did was actually really cool.
Which one?
He was in that Lighthouse movie with the Green Goblin.
Yep.
That was actually really enjoyable.
Yeah, he's a remarkable guy.
It's interesting to sort of track him and Harry Potter. Because they both kind of have a similar trajectory, right? They broke out, in these huge series, although at different levels of acclaim. But now, if you see Daniel Radcliffe in something, you probably should watch it. Because he kind of he doesn't have any F's to give, so he just kind of picks stuff he likes.
Yeah, even weird stuff like Guns Akimbo and the rest.
What was the one where he just played a corpse? Swiss Army Man.
Oh, Swiss Army Man.
You should see it. If
I
you
really
haven't
want to
seen
see
it,
that.
The problem is it's got that Danny something kid that my wife hates with a holy passion.
Okay.
But the music is awesome. It's all these weird, breathy vocalizations, and the story is super weird. And you've never seen a movie where at a climactic moment, one man rides another man who is a dead body like a surfboard through the ocean. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, and it has Shane Carruth as the coroner? That's the guy from Primer. That's weird. What a weird movie this is. I really should see it. Yeah, Shane Carruth, he did Primer, he did Upstream Color. He's,
Upstream Color is
just
a hard
the
movie
coroner.
to watch.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I want to.
Honestly, man, you probably don't need to. It's an art house movie. And
I saw Primer a million times.
But Primer is a fantastic piece of perfectly made, low budget, cerebral sci-fi. Upstream Color is not. It is an art movie with a sci-fi edge.
So who does your wife hate? Daniel Schneidert, the director?
No, the other guy.
Paul Dano?
Paul Dano. She hates that guy.
Why does she hate him?
I don't know. Just every time we see him in a movie, she's just I don't like that man. So, okay. There was also a Suicide Squad thing, which again was really early.
Which looked fine.
It looked fine.
Fun.
It looked fine.
Yeah.
But there was, again, very little actual footage. It was all stagecraft. Although the thing that I really thought that was weird about that one was we never see movies give you a 2-minute making of sort of montage before the release of the movie because we're so scared of spoilers now. Marvel plays everything so close to the vest, right? All of their, even their trailers, usually all the shots are from the first 10, 15 minutes of the movies. They're really paranoid about it. So it's weird that the pandemic thing has changed that. We don't got any real footage yet, so we're just going to show you this because it's all we got, and we got to get you hyped.
If anything, it was a long, we're going to kiss James Gunn's butt for no reason. I mean, he's a great director. We all love him, but it was kind of let's talk about James Gunn and everyone talk about James Gunn for 2 minutes. And I'm you guys, COVID's ruining you.
It did my heart good, though, to see that they had some more obscure characters like Polka Dot Man, King Shark in there. Although no KG Beast, which is another one of my favorite.
I'm trying to find a little frame where they showed King Shark. I saw King Shark and I was like, yes.
I hope that they don't do him as dirty as they did Boomerang in the last one.
Oh boy!
Hey, Boomerang.
It sounded like I was reading something and it sounded like they're trying to keep him semi-comical, sort of how he is in Harley Quinn, the animated show.
Wow.
So
that's
so we'll see.
I mean, that's okay. So the King Shark in the Harley Quinn show is not the King Shark that I think of when I think of King Shark, but I gotta tell you that the King Shark in the Harley Quinn show is fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
King Shark. He's so dumb.
He's great.
Yep.
There was one other one. Oh, Wonder Woman. There's a new Wonder Woman trailer.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. I have to tell you, I was super into it until they showed Cheetah, and I was like, yeah, this is going to suck. This is going to suck hard.
A little concerned about the Kristen Wiig.
Oh, so she's a fine actor, but when she shows up in the cheetah outfit, I was, actually what Rob said was brilliant. It had me crying. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's they've learned nothing from Cats. Hopefully, they'll include the butthole cut this time right away.
I haven't watched the trailer for the Snyder cut either.
It's not bad.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a little bit more. There's the shot of Darkseid, or who I assume is Darkseid. He didn't look completely like I would envision Darkseid necessarily, but looks like it's a little bit grittier, more stories about the heroes themselves a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm all in. The first 2 acts of the last Wonder Woman movie were some of the best comic book movies, and the World War I fight sequence in the first Wonder Woman is
solid.
I finally figured out my problem with Wonder Woman. It's that's the climax of the movie, and then you have like 40 whole minutes after that where you're just like, I want to go home now. I've already had my emotional catharsis. Oh, that doesn't look ideal.
I'm trying to stop on a frame where she's moderately in focus.
Well, there's time for them to fix that too.
There we go.
It's just like, oh no, this is gonna be terrible. The thing is, I really liked Wonder Woman, the first one, quite a bit. It was honestly, with Marvel going into Phase 5 and questionable theming, like they could lose the thread to a properly done DC. Like,
absolutely,
you can't tell me Shazam is any worse than Ant-Man.
For sure.
I thought they were both great movies, but like Shazam could, it's like, Aquaman was gibberish, but it was well produced.
Those are,
Aquaman was kind of like the Dark World, level quality.
You're listing all of the strong 3-star movies from their canons, like ones that are watchable and enjoyable, but certainly not a movie that you're going to sit down and say, you got to drop what you're doing.
Gotta see that again.
Go see this, like,
right.
Yeah.
You do need to drop what you're doing and go see the Avengers or something.
But you're right. I mean, the door's open now. If they can put out something really good, get a couple good, strong movies and build on that momentum, they got a chance. But look at this. We have Tom Petty in a leopard skin, leotard here. and that's going to be fighting Wonder Woman. So here we go.
Yeah,
you do have kind of a cool option though with Wonder Woman, because they've already shown that she doesn't age. So we've shown her in World War I, 1984, and present day, whatever Batman v Superman was. So you can theoretically put her in any timeline. And do whatever you want, which means you could have Ben Affleck. She could have known Ben Affleck when he was younger, and it could be the Robert Pattinson Batman, and she could go meet him in whatever that era is. I mean, there's a lot of interesting options. Although I assume that the Robert Pattinson Batman is still present day, but I guess I don't know.
I guess we don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm super excited. There's all kinds of DC. And Tenet is out this weekend. And all of my movie reviews.
Where?
It's opening September 3, and the film critics have all seen it. So I haven't heard any real spoilers yet. I know it's going to eventually be spoiled for me. We all know it's a time reversal thing. That was shown in the trailer, but apparently, basically everything that they were saying is like, it's confusing. You're not going to get it the first time through. That's okay.
It's going to be beautifully produced gibberish. That's what he does, and I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it, so.
I hate to say it though, that might be one that I have to find extreme means to view it, because I can't go to a movie theater.
Yeah, you can't.
I just can't. I got old people that I got to keep from dying.
I mean, none of these are worth killing people over.
All right. And
All
Bill
right,
and Ted.
I'm gonna motor.
Peace out.
Oh, Bill and Ted.
Yeah, well, that's Friday, and that's like
that's right.
That's a movie that Kathleen probably would have let me go to the movie theater for. So,
is she trying to murder you?
I mean, duh.
All right. I am gonna mutter. It was great seeing you guys. I'm sorry, shanking on you. I just,
Whatever.
I can come back in an hour. So we can do this in an hour if you all want.
Whatever. Rob and I'll go until we get bored.
Chris.
Okay, see y'all.
See ya.
And
Oh, now we can. Oh, he took Catwoman away from us. Now we have nothing.
Oh no.
Catwoman, Kristen Wiig. My problem with Kristen Wiig more than anything at this point, because she's been in some movies that I've super loved, but man, she was really bad in Ghostbusters.
I thought they were supposed to have. I think the supervillain's name is Swan or something like that.
Okay.
I thought that was supposed to be in this Wonder Woman 2.
So there's
But
two
I
bad
didn't-
guys?
I thought there was 2 bad guys in this Wonder Woman, but
Well, that's the line. You can have 2, you can't have 3.
yeah.
That's what we learned from Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man 3.
I wish what we would have learned is that you don't need to either.
Well, you can have 2 because I guess modern movie story structure requires that you have like a mid-act reversal or a mid-second act reversal, and it's okay to use one of your bad guys as
I
that.
guess, but one is always so much better than the other, and then you can't help but think, why even have the shittier one
For sure.
eat up like 10 minutes of movie when I could have had the really good one in those 10 minutes of movie. So
I don't know. I guess I have mixed feelings about that. I'm trying to think of counter examples because the first one that just popped into my mind was the first Marvel Spider-Man movie where they kind of have Prowler hinted at, and they're hinting at other villains, but it's mostly the Vulture through the whole thing. But he's kind of down in the bottom through most of it. I don't know. But I mean,
oh, you mean the last? Well, not last. The
second to
first
last.
of the reboots.
Yeah, not the Garfield Spider-Man.
So like Shocker was in that one, right?
Right.
And like there's no reason for Shocker to be in that one because who cares?
Except that in a movie like that, you can't face the final villain for 3 separate action sequences. Generally, it gets
I guess, but that's just a matter of writing. You know what I mean?
That's true.
They could have had, and I mean, comic books certainly don't have a fight with a villain, and then once that fight with that villain happens, you never fight that villain again. Right.
Every week. Tune back in next week, true believers.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to things like the second original Batman, that had Catwoman and the Penguin.
Yeah.
For me, there's no reason to have anything other than the Penguin. I thought Danny DeVito did a awesome job playing that character. Now you can argue whether or not that is actually the Penguin because he's just kind of gross instead of sophisticated or whatever. But you can say it in the same about Heath Ledger's Joker, right? Which again, who wants more Two-Face in that movie and not more Joker? Nobody. So.
I think the logic, whether or not it's right or not, the logic is that it's nice to have a secondary villain to build up to a primary villain. But then you end up with the situation like the Wonder Woman situation, right? Where in that case, the primary villain is stupid. Like,
absolutely,
it is 10 minutes of a video game, and you don't care anymore because the emotional arc for Wonder Woman was like the action arc was already handled in the World War I taking the village scene.
Right.
And then the emotional arc is all about Captain Kirk dying, but that's not like that's not the arc you want. It's what is it? What's the Loki, Mars, God of War? I can't remember which one.
Ares.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, who cares? That guy's a waste of time.
Right.
Let's see. Well, I did put one thing that I put it up more for Debona than for you, but you should see the Turing machine made in wood.
It sounds interesting.
If let me see if I can get that up. It's me and my woodworking things.
I do.
But let's see. Ha ha ha. it's I mean, just the fact that this guy built this thing. When you're in computer science, you study Turing machines, and that's like the basic, like the most simple computer is known as a Turing machine, and you spend classes like computing Turing machines, which is just like pieces of tape and ones and zeros. And this guy built one out of wood, and it's just really neat. He the thing on the left hand side, he can remove it and change the program.
That's cool. I was watching something not too long ago where I actually went to that estate where they built the first one, and they have a whole bunch of the original machineries and the first couple they built, and just it is amazing how complex that thing is, and how like if you want to work on a different letter set, how you have to pull out this long tube in this
right.
giant module and replace another one, and it was just weird how complex it was just to make it work, let alone the complexity of the problems it would solve. It's just kind of neat.
Yeah, not so much useful as much as awesome. There's another one.
Well, not particularly useful now, but it gives you an appreciation of how important miniaturization really was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like you have all the computational power many times in your phone now than you have in this giant thing held in this
warehouse
place of reverence in the UK, and that's not that long ago in the grand scheme of things.
So there's also an article on there about them finding brown dwarves, but I can't figure out in the article how far away these brown dwarves are supposed, like how far away. They say near the sun, but is that like, halfway to Alpha Centauri? Is that?
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It can't be super.
Here we go, 6 light years away. So if it's 6 light years away, then that's like Alpha Centauri is like 1.5 away, right? I can't remember. How far is Alpha Centauri? 4.367 light years. So it's the same general distance.
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, if you go up a little higher in orbit, look out, because apparently there are brown dwarves out there that we have to be worried about.
Well, I don't know if we have to be worried about them.
I mean, did you install the upgraded thrusters on your spacecraft that let you go up to higher orbits?
Well, I think they're far enough away that you don't have to worry about it, right?
Oh, you can't go up to
maybe after a billion years,
oh,
it might disrupt our orbit. But
I got the thrusters that let me go up to 1 light year, but not the ones that let me go up to 2 light years. Takes a while to get there.
I mean, at that distance, it probably has the same gravitational effect of adding a penny to your spaceship, right?
Sure. Or taking a penny off.
Right. Like,
have you used Slack at all?
Not recently.
I mean, it's the same as Discord, really.
Right.
There's just there was an interesting article that actually you and I would have an interesting perspective on. They're talking about why a Slack backlash is inevitable, and you and I worked in an IRC chat room for a decade and never had a problem. But what's happening now, and this is obviously a scalability thing. And it's kind of good that Chris isn't here because they actually talk about some Google examples. But they talk in this about how what happens is it's the same thing that happens on any internet platform, which is by removing the physical proximity, removing actual literal eye contact and everything, people get a little shittier. And not like,
I think that's a phenomenon that is pretty solid, right? I mean,
right.
Everyone pretty much knows that now.
Yep.
Um,
But they were the article was just talking about how even in a professional Slack, that's supposed to be your office. So you would think that your behavior would be roughly the same as how it would be in your office. But as we are well aware, we're just a bunch of jerks in a chat room. Good-natured jerks, but good-natured jerks is fine when you have a half a dozen people, and not so fine when you have 600.
yeah, I think most of us are good-natured jerks, but it's like anything, Once you hit that magic number where people feel like they don't have personal accountability,
Yeah.
or that it's hard to put rules and penalties for being a jerk on someone, people are going to end up being a jerk.
So this article was just talking about how CEOs now have this new problem in their hands because now they have 500, 1,000 people in Slack, which is causing all sorts of new problems that they didn't necessarily have. And it's actually they talk about some Google examples because Google has historically been they've had a very active workforce participating in their various internal message tools. I mean, they have like their own internal Reddit kind of thing and stuff.
Yep.
And they're just talking about how the problems that they've had with employees rising up against the man when the man ain't cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess there are certain things I guess you can do to try to fix that. My wife in particular, all of their meetings are even the little ones are face to face. They're encouraged to use video through their version of Discord.
Sure.
And that supposedly, keeps people civil and more on task. But I think it's all a bunch of crap.
I think that the video thing is actually probably better, like because if you see 5 people on a Zoom call, you're probably a little nicer than when you have 15 people in a Slack room and 5 people in that Slack room never talk and 2 people. I mean, our channel is the same thing. I talk probably 70% of the chat is probably me most of the time, and then Nate or Bates almost never talk. And if you would assume that in a scaled work environment, if one of the people was the sort that has their feelings hurt and they're the quiet one, and one is the sort who's brash and obnoxious like me, it would be easy to see that causing a nightmare situation for CEOs.
Right. I'm just not sure that like the video is the part that fixes that, or or doesn't, or makes it worse by not having video. I think it's just a numbers game. Once you hit a certain amount of people, I think you're just going to run into that.
I think that the other thing that Slack very easily affords for you is the ability to create quick little side channels with just the people. Like if you've got a particular project, you have your own Slack channel for your particular project, your particular department. And as you get, as those groups get smaller and smaller, you can have a fringier discussion with less supervision. And then
that can also lead to trouble though, with everyone has posted something in the wrong channel before.
Oh yeah.
hopefully nothing too terrible, but
I think I pasted my password in for like World of Warcraft or something half a dozen times over the years.
Right. So definitely creates a place where there can be new problems.
So let's see. We got Bill and Ted on Friday. Did you watch Cthulhu Country or Lovecraft Country?
I did.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode. I really like it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second episode yet.
Me either. I'm hoping to get there today.
But yeah, it's Jordan Peele, so of course there's going to be a racial bit to it, but I love the way he's fitted in.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I think he's extraordinarily good at, fitting in sort of social commentary without it feeling like it was just jammed in there, you know.
That's
Yeah,
the thing that always, thin ice because we're a pair of white guys, but I always feel like you run the dangerous. You're on that razor's edge of feeling like an after school special, and just
yeah.
ruining your production. And
I
man,
I want to organically understand your point of view and get your message. I don't want you hammering it down my throat. You know what I mean?
right, and that's the difference between the after school special and like what is it, Us, or Get Out. I guess
Yeah.
Peele's movies. Like it's
Right.
there, it's there. Or like what was it? Did you see Sorry to Bother You?
Yes.
Holy cow, so good.
Yeah, great.
But yeah,
Gets a little weird.
it gets a lot weird. The last 10 minutes of that movie, you don't.
Like for me, gets too weird.
Oh yeah.
I still like it. I just think it would have been a better movie if, spoiler alert, there weren't horse people in it.
See, that's my favorite.
Because up until then, it's just ludicrous. It's just
Yep.
obviously an allegory, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there's monsters, like
Yep.
real monsters.
Yep. Genetic hybrids. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
so
It's amazing.
a little too far for my taste. I still like the movie. I just think it would have been better without that.
See, I loved it. I thought that was just the best way to put your finale into like what was already such a weird, just well done movie. Just supremely well crafted, well told, interesting, visually cool. That was one of my favorite movies of whenever that came out, 2018. It was so good.
Yeah, a good one. And I hadn't seen it until you and Chris mentioned it. So yeah, really good.
Well, have you seen Swiss
So,
Army
yeah.
Man?
No.
You should watch it. It's in the same vein of super weird. Different theme, but super weird and well done, well crafted.
Yeah.
But a little more art house.
Right. Yeah, so circling back to Lovecraft Country, like I liked This Is Us.
Us.
Get Out and Us. Okay, I didn't think they were great, but they're decent, they're fine. I really liked his new Twilight Zones, quite a few
For
of them,
sure.
though.
He's shooting
And
shooting above 50-50 on those episodes.
Oh, absolutely. And this for me, just having watched one episode, was great. I love that they sort of get into that whole time where African Americans needed guidebooks to figure out where it was safe for them to travel in the country, particularly in the South.
What was
where they could get a
the
meal,
Green
where
Book?
they could stay. Yeah, the whole movie Green Book is kind of about that.
That was one that made me feel that felt after school special to me.
Absolutely.
And this never did. And holy crap, the chase sequence with the sheriff chasing them was like some of the most heart pounding TV that I've seen in a long time. And cool monsters.
Yep, decent monsters.
I'm super excited to see where they go with this one.
Absolutely. I want to know how deep into the canon they go, because I go pretty deep in that Lovecraft universe. That sort of existential horror combined with the whole idea that, other races lived on this planet before we did, and human beings are a product of those races.
Yeah.
I loved that idea when I was a kid.
He had a lot of good sci-fi ideas stirred up in some real questionable worldview.
Well, I mean, yeah, product of his time, right?
For sure. And the movie addresses that, and the show addressed that, I thought, in one of the most effective sequences in it. It's just like, yep.
Yeah.
What do they say? You can love the story, you can acknowledge the flaws, and still love the story.
Right. Which I think is a lesson that is becoming lost in this day and age.
yeah.
Let's just say.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, that's the thing, right? We don't have we've lost the idea of nuance. That I keep. This is a tweet that I've made on a couple of occasions. Is that Twitter is allergic to nuance, and
That's true.
now that everything has to be, even our president has to be at the duration of a tweet. That is the extent of our ability to hold a thought in our head. Nuance no longer exists.
Yep.
Well.
True. But Lovecraft Country, watch it if you had it.
I might be watching episode 2 in the next hour because I don't think I have anything else important to do. But I bet you do. You got a job to do.
Yes, I got tons of stuff to do, and I have to watch the movie of the week tonight with the wife.
I watched it last night and had so much fun. I only remembered like 2 or 3 scenes.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I watched it a lot. An awful lot. But I haven't probably watched it in I don't know, at least a decade for sure. So I'm interested to see what my memories hold, whether or not they're true or not, you know?
Right. All right, we'll get into it tomorrow. It'll be awesome.
All right.
Well,
goodbye, everybody.
goodbye, Chris, who's not here. Goodbye, Rob, who actually schedules his time and properly allocates the importance of his day.
Yeah. Damn, Chris going away to a work meeting instead of talking about Batman.
I know. What is he even thinking? All right, this has been episode 502 of Geeks in Space. We will see you tomorrow night for Lost Boys. It's going to be great. Oh, I'm Rob Commander Taco Ball. Bye.